A quarter of a century ago, I did something that is now unthinkable to me. It was our senior year of college, and my husband had interviewed for ministerial positions, and he had gotten a call. The days passed, and then the weeks passed, and then the months passed, and I got to the point where I was done nagging my husband. I had kept pushing and pushing him to call and find out, and he kept saying we needed to wait, and I had had it. I had some opportunities to interview, and I knew that the doors were going to start shutting for me. And I had prayed, and I had read the Bible, and that was it. And in my immature little brain, I decided it was time for me to take action. So I got on the phone and I called my husband's new boss. Now, I thought about this last week. I was driving and I almost had to pull over. I was cringing and twitching so much. I can't believe the nerve, the arrogance, I don't know what word you want to use, but I cannot believe that I dialed that phone and talked to the secretary and said that I wanted to talk to him, and he got on the phone and I explained to him very matter-of-factly that we needed to know which church Daniel was going to be placed at so that I could, as if he had no idea, as if he didn't know his own job, as if he'd never dealt with a young minister and his wife before. And he said to me in a soothing voice that irritated me beyond words. He said to me some words that just made me want to scream at the time because to me they sounded so cliche and they sounded so condescending. And what he said to me was this. He chuckled at me after I got done telling him what I wanted, and he said, "Little lady, God is still on his throne." Now, this whole conversation came to mind as I was reading a few more pages out of Let It Go yesterday, in which Karen talks about the two major reasons why we women can become such control freaks. She said, first of all, we want to feel indispensable. And at the time that I did this, I wouldn't have said it, but looking back on 25 years, almost 25 years of marriage, I realized I have used control as a way to make myself necessary and needed in Daniel's life. And then the second one, we want to get our own way. And then here's what else she said. We don't really trust God. Oh, we believe in God. We know all about his wonderful characteristics and mighty acts. We know he's patient, loving, forgiving, powerful, ever near, faithful. Why, he's perfect. We may even read on the pages of our Bible about men and women who trusted him with amazing results. But we doubt that he'll repeat this in our suburban, modern, everyday lives. We intellectually believe he does what is best for the world in general, but practically we behave as if in our individual situations we still know what's best. And boy, do I recognize that. At the end of this chapter, she has a Finding Your Control Quotient quiz. Instead of an IQ or an EQ, intelligence quotient or emotional quotient, she has a CQ, your control quotient. And I took the quiz and wrote down the little numbers here. I don't know if you can see them. And out of a possible score of 50, if I was honest, not doing the version of myself that I wish I was or think I'm headed towards, but if I'm honest, I got a 44 out of 50, which she says means control freak alert. Your strength has developed into a weakness and sent others running for cover. Time to stop tweaking and start trusting before all your friends and family scatter for good and you end up a prisoner of your own pushy self. It took me years to grasp the wisdom of that simple statement that my husband's boss made. And it's become one of my favorite encouragements now. God is still on his throne. Yesterday I talked about the devil's con game on women. Concern becomes control, which then can become contempt. God offers something that's not a con, something that satisfies my heart in a way that no amount of perceived control ever can. God offers contentment. And the question is whether I will trust him and make him indispensable in my life, and whether I want him to have his way in my life. If I trust him, then I'll take to heart and take to action what he says in Jeremiah 29:11. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and future." And so for the question for me today and every single day is always, who's on the throne? Am I going to fight for control as if it's my way or the highway? Or am I going to remember, oh no, God's still on his throne?